Around 2014, many homebrewers, including the author, wanted to know if hops could be successfully grown in southern Texas. Hops are used as a key ingredient in brewing beer. They inhibit beer spoilage, help stabilize the beer foam, and impart aroma and flavor to the beer. So the author designed and conducted a simple horticultural hop growing study to determine if hops could be grown in southern Texas. The following presentation highlights the experience and lesson learned from that study. In order to create the hop horticulture study, an extensive search was done of the hop growing information. It was discovered that there was and still is minimal to no information on how to grow hops in the southern United States, in particular the Gulf Coast. It was also discovered that a number of local homebrewers had actually bought rhizomes from homebrew shops and attempted to grow hops with varying degrees of success. I also interviewed commercial hop growers and plant producers and rhizome suppliers to get their input on how they thought I may successfully grow hops in the South. So let me spend a minute and talk about the hop plant. Specifically, what is a hop plant? Hop plants are vigorous growing vining perennials with long shoots called vines that can grow up to 30 feet. The hop plant dies back in the fall to its crown, or the root ball, and new growth emerges in the spring. Hops are typically grown from rhizomes, which are roots, planted after the ground unfreezes. Hop plants produce cones, which are the flowers that are harvested in the fall. The fresh hop cones may be used in beer brewing, but they are typically dried and processed into pellets. Hop plants are commercially grown between the 35th and the 55th parallel, which is climatic zones 5 through 8. Houston and Galveston, where we intend to grow these plants, is around the 29th parallel, or climatic zone 9+. The 35th parallel follows the southern Tennessee border and the northern borders of Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. Hop plants require long days with 15 or more hours of daylight. The longest day in Houston-Galveston area is round about 14 hours. Hop plants also require mild temperatures, averaging between 40 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. In the Houston-Galveston area, it ranges between 47 and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Hop plants require good irrigation, which is about 1.5 inches a week. In the Houston-Galveston area, the monthly range is between 2.5 and 5 inches a month. So after I got all the information about hops, I designed a study. The study was designed to last for 5 years. 2 garden locations were selected, one in Harris County and one in Galveston County. 4 hop cultivars were selected. They were Cascade, Columbus, Chinook, and Newgate. All the cultivars would be grown from rhizomes. The gardening process of planting, trellising, and maintaining the hop plants would follow methods outlined in the available literature for growing hops. The gardening practices used were those of the average gardener. In other words, how the average homeowner or homebrewer versus how an experienced gardener or horticulturist might garden. No chemicals, insecticides or fungicides would be used, as this is how the author normally gardens, and as he was planning to use the hops in making beer, he did not want anything unnatural in the final brew. The hop rhizomes would be planted in late March or early April, because this is the earliest that rhizomes become available. Now let me summarize and highlight the key results of the study. In April 2015, the rhizomes were planted, per the normal recommended hop growing practices. By the fall of 2015, we had spindly, thin vine growth ranging from 9 foot to 16 foot tall, and light cone production ranging from 1 ounce to 12 ounce. In the spring of 2016, we discovered that 3 plants had died and only Cascade survived. By the fall of 2016, Cascade was still growing, but only producing spilly plant vines and low cone production. In the spring of 2017, we also discovered that Cascade had died. By the spring of 2018, we'd elected to try and do the study again. But this time we decided instead of using rhizomes, we would use 1-year-old field grade hop plants. We selected 4 different hop cultivators: Comet, Cluster, Willamette and Neo Mexicana. We used a different approach for planting and trellising at each of the 2 garden locations. In the Galveston County garden, the hop plants were planted and trellised consistent with the 2015 study, in other words, typical hop growing practices. In April of 2018, the field grade plants were planted. By the fall of 2018, we found that the field grade plants, the vine growth was slower than the previously planted rhizome plants, but slightly more substantial. And then in the summer, the irrigation system failed and we had 100% plant mortality, which kind of highlights the need for hops to be irrigated on the Gulf Coast. The Galveston garden study was then abandoned. In the Harris County garden, we planted the field grade plants in large planters versus typically in the ground in raised beds, and we trellised them with large Texas tomato cages versus a typical trellis. By the fall of 2018, we had experienced slow but substantial vine growth and moderate cone production. Over winter to the spring of 2019, we discovered we'd lost 2 plants. Only Comet and Cluster survived. By the fall of 2019, Comet and Cluster had both experienced moderate vine growth and cone production. More vigorous growth was observed on a hop plant, specifically Comet, that was located close to an outside night security light, and we wondered, was this light providing extended daylight to the plant? Again, in spring of 2020, we experienced overwinter mortality. Only Comet survived. By the fall of 2020, Comet had grown with moderate vine growth and cone production. Interestingly, throughout the study, none of the plants had demonstrated the massive vigorous growth that you see in the Northwest hop farms. The study was now considered complete, and the lone surviving Comet plant was dug up and replanted in a new garden, primarily as an ornamental plant. The lessons learned from the hop study were then applied to this plant, and surprisingly, by the fall of 2021, we had a vigorous, healthy plant with 20-foot plus vines, and it produced 32 ounces of cones. Now let me share with you the lessons learned from this study. When it comes to lessons learned, we have to start with the obvious. The available hop plant cultivars do not appear to have the natural hardiness to survive the southern hot temperatures, the shorter summer daylight days, and the warm winters. This is kind of like trying to grow bananas in Alaska. The plant is just not designed for the tropical zone of the south. But it can be grown if appropriately managed. For example, consider the hop plant as a partial shade plant and a high temperature intolerant plant. When you plant it or you select a planted location, select a shaded northeast or east facing location for planting and trellising, for example the side of a house or a fence, to help keep the plant cool, and provide the base of the hop plant with as much shade, which in effect is heat protection, as possible. Select hop cultivars known to have survived in the south, and this tends to be American hop cultivars versus European that begin with the letter C. If possible, consider starting with 1-year-old field grade hop plants, as they seem to grow and survive better than rhizomes. Consider growing the first-year hop rhizomes, crowns or plants in large pots. This seems to increase the plant's first overwinter survival rate and results in plants that are healthier and produce better the following year. Plant the second year hop plants in the ground around mid-February to enable them to start to take advantage of the early warm southern climate and start growing. For watering, I would suggest that you consider using a managed irrigation system, for example a drip irrigation system, but avoid overwatering. Also consider applying a 1-inch layer of good quality conifers after planting the plant, and then apply and maintain a 3+ inch layer of hardwood mulch to keep the plant base of the plant moist and cool. When it comes to fertilizing, after planting or dormancy, consider using a good quality compost and a tablespoon of Epsom salts. When a plant is leafed out, consider using a liquid-based high nitrogen fertilizer monthly or until about the middle of July. Then use compost tea until about October. For disease management, manage like your other leafy and constant flowering plants. Beware of botrys attacking the cones and turning them brown. For insects, again, manage like other leafy plants, but be vigilant for caterpillars and red spider mites. When it comes to cone harvesting, expect sporadic cone production from May through to November. Cone production appears to be subject to the rainfall amount and temperature range that the plant has experienced and the quality of your garden management. Remember, harvest the cones as soon as possible due to the potential botrys infection, especially when we have humid weather. In summary, regards lessons learned, as a Gulf Coast gardener, consider the hop plant as an exquisite cool temperature, partial shade annual plant that will need some extra care in a Gulf Coast garden. The hop plant makes a great garden ornamentable, and you may end up with some fresh hop cones that you can use to brew beer.